talents and people that are doing such greatness. I have 2 left hands and 2 left feet, so I have very, very little talent. But luckily, I know people who do have talent, so I will be praising them. So I want to thank Fiona and Margot for inviting me here. Thank you very much. It's blessed. Heaven brought me to the right place at the right opportunity, and it's led me here. Okay? So 3 years ago, it also led me out of corporate life and into forming our global collective. It's our collective, and I'm going to describe the founders, because the founders are telling you the mission. Not what we're talking about, but what we're doing, okay? There shouldn't be enough talking, there needs to be more action, okay? And I am a hypocrite, because I do talk a lot, but I have to learn that I also have to take action. So I said, our collective was formed 3 years ago, and one of our founding members here is Maggie. She's an amazing artist. She was voted the #1 Chinese business entrepreneur in the whole of New York. So congratulations to Maggie. She's a fabulous artist. She also runs a yoga wellness center here in Chinatown as well. So she has the spiritual side of things in abundance as well. So today we met another group that wants to bring Chinese artists. So unlike some people that want to build a wall, we want to build a bridge. Okay? Yes, I am very political, although like I said to you, I need to kick myself because like a lot of Chinese, I sit on my butt and I'm not political. Okay? If we want to be heard, we have to stand up and be loud. Okay? And again, I'm very hypocritical in the sense that I'm very, very typically Chinese. I talk a lot, but I don't actually take a lot of action. So I'm very pleased that 2 of the first members are very politicized. So we need to have that voice. Okay? We really, really need to have that voice. Now, I am very socialistic, so I'm very democratic, but to bring peace and harmony, you've got to be in the camp of both sides. So I'm a very good friend of the Asian American chairman for both the Republican and the Democratic Party. Because one thing you've got to do is you've got to speak to both sides. In fact, you should not be preaching through the choir. I should not be preaching to you. I should be preaching to my enemies out there. Okay? They're the ones that I need to speak to. They're the ones that I need to take action on. But anyway, going back to our collective, what we do. So like I said, we're a global alliance of very, very prominent people like yourself all around the world. So I introduced Maggie, who's my connection bridge to China. Our other co-founder who sends her blessing is Teresa Nackley. Her family owns land in the Golan Heights dating back. She can trace her heritage back to Moses, back to Christ. Okay? Her land was occupied by the Israeli during the '68 war. So now she's suing the Israeli for $21 billion to reclaim her land. Golan Heights is extremely strategic. It is, most people know it as the height between Syria and Israel. It was originally part of Syria, but the Israeli occupied it because it's a height, so it's a very strategic place. But it's very agriculturally rich as well. So it's a very, very important place. Not only that, but found on Teresa's land is the oldest Christian church in the whole of the Middle East, dating back 1,000 years. So Teresa is not just suing 21 billion for the money. She's suing to get her land back so she can do goodness to it. She wants to build a peace museum around this oldest church in the Golan Heights. If you know about the political, everyone hears about the political warfare in the Middle East, but what you don't hear about is the religious persecution, okay? And the last speaker mentioned about, wouldn't it be great if we had one religion? Guess what? That is what my mission goal is to bring one God. Because I asked the question, because I'm a nuclear physicist, so I'm very logical. So I asked the question, if there is only one God, why are there so many religions? Can anyone answer me that? One God, why are there so many religions? So one of my key points is, I was never a God believer. Science, believe it or not, led me to God. So through the new mathematics which I created, through the new science which I created, my science is the only science that can explain all the scientific unknown, like dark matter, dark energy, missing antimatter, all those boring stuff. So therefore, I challenge any physicist. In fact, I wanted to challenge Steve Hawking to debate that there is a genuine God. We do need God, okay? God is very important in our life, okay? So my focus in life is to unify the religion, okay? Because again, one of the questions I ask is, if everyone, especially the Abrahamic religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they all believe in the same one God. Why, if you believe in the same one God, are you killing each other in the name of the same one God? It's just insanity. It's this human stupidity. Okay? So my goal is to bring testament, evidence that there is a real God, and there is only one God, and as such there should be only one religion. Okay? If there's only one religion with no name, then how can a Protestant and a Catholic who worship the same Jesus Christ kill each other? They can't. Okay? So that is my mission goal in life, is to bring the proof of a deity. Okay? Now, beyond just the proof, like I said to you, enough of the talking, what are the action plan? So through our organization, our collective, last year we took a delegation, an international delegation from China, Middle East, all the way to Africa, Nigeria. There, we got a humanitarian award from the present First Lady. So again, our goal is not just to talk about great deeds. Our goal is to try to take action. Okay? So our organization is actively involved in the arts, in the business, and in the charitable side. Okay? And one of our projects, and hopefully people here can help us, is anyone know about the crisis at Chad Basin? If you work for the United Nations, you'll know about Chad Basin. Chad is encompassing 6 countries in West Africa. It used to be a huge internal lake that supplied water, supplied to 6 nations. But because of exploitation, because of pollution, the Chad River Basin is drying up. It's not just that, as well as the climate change, etc. Because of that, millions, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, millions of people are suffering. And it's only going to get worse. Now, just to tell you about the consequence of those kind of suffering, everyone here knows about Boko Haram, right? The terrorist group that kidnapped the 200 girls from the school. That comes from that region. When you have eco-social collapse in that environment, guess what? You bring in the terrorists, you bring in... Therefore, the country is trying to recover that zone, okay? You can throw as much money as you want at it, but it's not going to solve it, okay? So one of the adage that they need is a water solution, a viable water solution to recover. Now, because I'm in technology and members of our technology, we have an innovative way of replenishing the water supply in the West Africa region. So our goal is to bring the technology to solve the solution. From that solution to recover the water, we can replenish the agriculture area of Nigeria. In fact, before the civil war in Nigeria back in the 80s, Nigeria was an exporter of food. Nigeria was agriculturally extremely rich. But because of warfare, because of the violence of religion, because of the stupidity of humanity, because of all that, the agriculture collapsed. And from that is the reason why you bring a lot of the social problems, including the terrorism. Therefore, you cannot cure terrorism by shooting them. Okay? That just doesn't work. You've got to bring the solution, a viable, long-term, sustainable solution. So part of our organization is to try and raise $60 million. It'll take more than $60 million, but to raise $60 million to run a pilot project using our advanced water technology to recover the water supply, develop an agricultural system that will be sustainable for up to 200,000 Nigerians, and use that as a platform to build a long-term sustainable project that can sustain 1 million Nigerians. And with that, you can bring peace. That is what's going to solve peace. Not a bullet, but seeds, what you plant in the ground. So that's a project that I took over from Nigeria for last year to here, and I'm talking to the United Nations, to World Bank, and hopefully there'll be members here that can say, yeah, well, this is great. So we can actually take action, real sustainable action, to save millions and millions of lives. Okay? So this is how I will with our organization, hopefully bring the peace that is needed, okay? By using technology, and in my case, by scientifically proving the existence of God, to take action for the peace. So I am honored to be invited here, and hopefully I and my organization can contribute to this world peace that this organization is all about. So thank you again, and God bless you all. Thank you.
谢谢您。世界充满战争。